Hey everyone, this is Chris Crazyhouse here just to give a little Chris Crazy commentary. I was sitting back and thinking after I watched that Masters of the Universe Revelations and, seeing some of the other reviews and talking with some people myself and thinking over just how they wrote the Teela character, and I just thought it was a shame to do that character in that way. And it harkened to another character that's been popular in another animated series lately. The character of Amber that appeared in the Invincible animated series on Amazon Prime. So I'm going to be talking about both of them and just how annoying these two female characters are and how terribly I think that they were written. I don't think it was necessary to write these women that way, and it seems to harken to a new way of doing female characters, but I think that's the wrong way to go. So I'm going to be talking about that. Before I do that, let me just do my quick plug for my online store. If you haven't gotten any products there, I'm having a sale at my online store right now going on to August the 5th, so it'll be going on till next week. Get in there now while you can so you can get my products at a cheaper price, and I will mail that stuff out to you. I got my comic books, coloring books, and my posters there on sale now on my online store, so make sure you get in there. I'm almost sold out of the Naturally Cute Fantasy. I think I have a few left still, but make sure you jump in there and get them as quickly as you can. Okay, so I'll be mailing some more things out very soon. Thank you to the people who have ordered so far from my online store and who have taken advantage of this sale. I do appreciate it. So on to talking about annoying female characters that have been written. So I'm going to just choose these two because these two are the first thing on my mind when I think about this type of writing. So if you haven't seen Masters of the Universe Revelations, I'm just letting you know that Teela she's definitely not the character that you love and remember from the original Masters of the Universe cartoon, or the one from the 2000s era as well. I always liked the Teela character. Out of a lot of the female characters that you can think of from the 80s, she was one of the ones that was likable, I believe, for young males, because she was not a damsel in distress. Even though she was beautiful, she was also very resourceful. She could fight her ass off, and she could take charge of a situation if need be. So she wasn't like a delicate flower that He-Man needed to save all the time. She was someone who could handle herself. He could even trust her to handle something herself, and her father could trust her to handle things on her own. The only thing that they probably didn't trust her with was Prince Adam's secret of being He-Man. And of course, if you've seen Masters of the Universe Revelations, that is her whole entire character arc of being mad at Prince Adam for keeping this secret from her, right? And I just get tired of seeing that storyline given to women, as if women can't sit back and think logically as to why someone in that position would want to keep certain things from them. Prince Adam being He-Man was a very serious thing. The fact that he's the champion and the protector of Eternia, he kind of has to keep that a secret. It's bad enough that 3 people knew already. Man-at-Arms knew, but he could be trusted. But then you have 2 people who are kind of bunglers, like, Orko and Cringer. They also know. I guess Cringer had to know because he gets turned into Battle Cat. So it kind of be unfair to not let him know that he's going to be turned into this giant monster animal, right? But, you have Orko who knows, who I guess, if nothing else, Orko knew how to keep a secret, even though he didn't know how to do actual magic tricks, even though he's supposed to be a magician. But yeah, I mean, the less people who know is the better for a secret like that, because you don't want your enemies to find out who you are and take advantage of that, because then they can just use your friends and family against you. Likewise, the same thing was going on with Mark being invincible and having to tell Amber, or keep the secret from Amber, that he was invincible. Now, eventually he did tell her, and she still had a funky attitude about it. She claimed she knew he was a superhero. So I remember when I watched that scene, I was like, okay, so she knows he's a superhero, but she's still getting mad at him for not telling her. It's like, okay, if you knew already, what's the problem? Even Mark asked her that, like, why are we fighting then? So, like I said, to me, that's kind of like poor writing when people do stuff like that, because if she knew he was a superhero, then that means she knows he's putting his life on the line. She knows that he's taking the greater good as his responsibility. If you know that he is a superhero and he's doing that and he's fighting these monsters and cyborgs and everything else, then at some point you gotta sit there and put your selfishness aside and think, okay, why would he keep this secret from me? If I know he's a superhero and he doesn't want to tell me, there must be a good reason for it, right? And then when he finally does tell you, because he's tired, he only told her because he's tired of her little attitude and the way she's acting. And then she comes out and says, hey, I know you're a superhero, and still wants him to leave. That kind of thing is annoying. And that's why a lot of people have done videos either in parody or in analyzing the series Invincible, talking about how much they hate Amber. And I can see why. And I feel bad that they gave that type of characteristic to a black female character, because it's almost like they're trying to harken back to a stereotype of black females. And I don't like that when they do that in these shows. It's almost like it's a problem because the character of Amber was white in the comics, but they made her black for the show and then gave her an attitude to go along with her being black. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like I said, they were doing a stereotype. And it's also very interesting that her voice actress is not all the way black either. That's another thing. But I'm going to leave that for another time. But just the fact that they put those characteristics onto a black female character, I think that's a bad thing, because you think that they're being diverse by making this character black and race bending it, but then they make her have an attitude and everything else. The same way when you think of someone like Tila, who they've changed the character and made her so butch, it's almost like they're making a commentary on women who are LGBT. So you find these people who claim to be these progressive writers and these progressive producers and creators who create these characters for women, and then they give them nasty and terrible characteristics. It's almost like a backhanded compliment or a backhanded diss by them doing that. So it's almost like, why even put this character in here like this if all you're going to do is degrade them at some point or make them seem stupid? Because if you really want to think about it, as far as Tila goes, the fact that she didn't know that Prince Adam was He-Man makes her look stupid. At this point, all these years, you were fighting alongside this guy, you didn't realize, okay, Prince Adam is not here when He-Man is here, and vice versa. You didn't realize they had the same sword. You don't see the lightning and stuff come down when Prince Adam goes around the corner. You don't notice that Battle Cat and Cringer had the same color scheme. You don't notice that. So it's almost like you look like the idiot at that point. But I understand for certain cartoons, they've always done it with Superman as well. But for certain cartoons, they're just trying to have some way for this character to have a secret identity. But yeah, like I said, they just wrote these two women as extremely annoying. And to my understanding of it, it's not all that realistic. I know women do get upset with men for lying, but there's a difference between just lying just to be lying and not telling someone your secret in order to protect them as well, or not telling someone your secret so it doesn't get out there so they could be used or hurt in any way. That's completely different. And I think a logical woman, or a woman with some common sense, would understand that. because even the mother of Prince Adam knew his secret, but she felt like she had to keep it and not tell everybody. If his mother had that kind of sense, why doesn't Tila have that type of sense, right? So, I mean, you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. I know you guys probably found these two female characters annoying as well. Even a lot of women find these two characters annoying as well. So it's not just me. I'm not just being a toxic, misogynist male. I think there are better ways to write female characters, and that is just not the way to do it. You don't have to make them annoying or butch, or they are quote unquote smart but still get an attitude about things like that. That belays their intelligence. That means they're not all that intelligent if they can get mad about something that they can figure out logically. Understand? So you folks let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. Anyway, Chris Crazyhouse signing out. Peace.